Hello, my name is and today I'm going to be introducing the cardiovascular system. So what is it? Also known as the circulatory system, it consists of the heart, blood vessels, and blood cells. Its function is to transport oxygen and nutrients to cells throughout the whole body. There are three types of blood vessels. One of them is an artery. It carries oxygenated blood away from the heart. Its walls are thick due to the high pressure. The other blood vessel is a vein. It carries deoxygenated blood to the heart. Its walls are thin since it isn't under so much pressure. They also contain valves that prevent backflow. The vessel that connects arteries and veins is known as a capillary. It acts as an exchange point for materials such as oxygen and carbon dioxide. These capillaries also have valve-like muscles known as precapillary sphincters. They reduce the pressure of the blood entering the capillary by relaxing and contracting. Throughout the blood vessels flows three types of blood cells, all made in red bone marrow. Red blood cells, aka erythrocytes, transport oxygen and nutrients throughout the whole body. They are structured as biconcave discs and do not have a nucleus. They are made from hemoglobin, a protein that contains iron. This is what allows red blood cells to carry oxygen throughout the whole body. And a little side note, if the hemoglobin is high in oxygen, the blood sample will appear bright red. If it is low in oxygen, the blood sample will appear dark red. White blood cells, aka leukocytes, defend the body against bacteria and fight infection. There are two categories, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes do not have specific resistance to disease and do not last long. There are three types of it, neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. Agranulocytes are the body's defense system. Two types of it are lymphocytes and monocytes. Lymphocytes have two categories, T cells and B cells. And then there's platelets, aka thrombocytes. They are cells that form clots at wounds to prevent blood loss and microorganisms from entering the body. Until it is needed, it is stored in the spleen. So, how does the blood pump throughout the body? The working heart, of course, and we're going to take an atomic look at it. Here's its function. It acts as a double pump system and does two circulations. One is systemic, it pumps blood to all body cells and carries waste away. The other is pulmonary. It gets rid of carbon dioxide and oxygenates blood through the lungs. Usually, the heart is about the size of a fist. It is located in the mediastinum. The bottom end is known as the apex. The heart has two layers that make up the pericardium, visceral and parietal. In between those layers is the pericardial cavity. It contains fluid to reduce friction. Now, let's take a look at the inside. There are four chambers, the right and left atria, and the right and left ventricles. The left side of the heart contains oxygenated blood, and the right side contains deoxygenated blood. The atria receives returning blood through veins, and ventricle pumps blood out the heart through arteries. The wall that separates these chambers is known as the septum. What also lies in the heart are two atrioventricular valves and two semilunar valves that allow one-way flow of blood. The right atrioventricular valve is the tricuspid, and the left one is the bicuspid. Then, there's aortic semilunar that lies between the left ventricle and aorta, and the pulmonary semilunar that lies between the right ventricle and pulmonary artery. Okay, so how does blood flow work? Starting from the right atrium, deoxygenated blood is pumped through the tricuspid into the right ventricle. It then goes through the pulmonary semilunar valve and into the pulmonary artery. That blood is then carried to the lungs to become oxygenated. After that, the oxygenated blood is brought back into the heart through the pulmonary vein on the left side and into the left atrium. There, the heart pumps the blood through the bicuspid into the left ventricle, next through the aortic semilunar valve and into the aorta. From there, the blood flows through the whole body, exchanging oxygen for carbon dioxide at capillaries. The blood eventually comes back to the heart through the superior and inferior vena cava as deoxygenated, and the cycle starts again. Now that you know the function of the cardiovascular system, you ought to know that there are cardiovascular disorders. They can come with age, diet, stress, injuries, or genetics. One I'd like to talk about is hemophilia. It's a genetic disorder that's carried on the X chromosome. Blood doesn't clot, which can be a big problem. Even with minor injuries, you could bleed to death if there isn't clotting. But good news, the treatment for this is medications. They can help improve blood clotting. I hope this presentation gave you a good understanding of the cardiovascular system. Remember, its function is to pump blood throughout the body to distribute oxygen and nutrients to the body cells. The heart is a continuous double pump system that contributes to that majorly. Thank you for watching!